especially with Nick Bosa being out, the game that he had on Saturday. I mean, how much of a breakthrough is that? And talk about ceiling. What is his ceiling?
He's had a little bit of an ankle, but he's been fighting through it. You saw glimpses. He played outstanding Saturday, and that ceiling word again. It's just a second-year player that's playing very well, and he has unlimited potential.
I know you didn't want to talk about Iowa, but this is the same situation. A huge win, going against a team that can be dangerous. What is
very
your
dangerous.
Message? What is your message?
Practice really hard Tuesday, and we'll have that chat.
Far right, Blake.
I know you probably noticed, but have you had any interaction with Luke Fickell or Mike Vrabel on their pretty good starts here to their head coach?
Yeah, we texted once and just rolling, bunker mentality. I did text with Mike the other day.
UC's your alma mater.
I have a kid there too. Yeah, they're really happy for him.
You're not surprised by what Luke's done?
Luke Fickell's elite. Luke Fickell's elite, and those are two guys that my coaching career, two of my favorite people on top of coaches.
Second row right, Tony.
Urban, last week we talked about the linebackers, the starting linebackers maybe not performing at their best. This past week, all three graded as champions. Was there a message this week to them or about them?
Play better, and let's get them in position to be successful. So that's the message.
And then also, when you're playing a game on the road against a Penn State or an opponent that you recruit against, how aware are you of the players that are visiting that weekend?
Mark Pantoni, our director of recruiting, really is. I hear a little bit, but it's all about punting and third downs and all that.
Front row right, Austin.
But I know it's only Monday, so maybe you might not have a definitive answer at this point, but what do you think will play out at that other safety spot? I believe Isaiah's out for that first half. How do you address that, and does that position continue to be a concern for you?
Yes, it is. We haven't made a final decision. Jocelyn Went's been playing well, and Sean Wade's the next, and Brendan White. So you have three capables. This is going to be a big week of practice to determine what happens.
When you've had conversations with Greg, how often does that spot come up, and what are there common issues that you guys have seen through 5 weeks there?
Yeah, it's when one breaks, you got to get him down. We've had a history of getting guys down because it's not going to be perfect all the time. We're a very aggressive man coverage team, and there's been a couple examples this week of not getting them down. So those are all things that we're working on.
And final two individuals. Front row right, Tim.
Yeah, Urban. When you approach wide receivers about what it takes to play, and you broach the idea of blocking, I'm talking about a guy coming right in the door. What is, maybe it's not your conversation, but what is the conversation? What is it that you express to them, and when do they usually get it?
Well, it depends on the individual. Usually Mike Thomas, it took a while. There's a rite of passage, and usually you have to perform on special teams before you catch a pass. Those are Ben Victor starting on kickoff return now. Never did that before. He's playing. It was brought to my attention. I shared that with our team yesterday. That this all triggered when he started performing on special teams. He gets a sense of value, and he gets a sense of respect. That whole thing about respect is not given, it's earned. How do you earn it? I'm going to go catch a pass, no chance. You're not catching a pass here. You're going to go block, you're going to go be on special teams and be a football player, and then good things happen.
When in your background, I know you don't look back, but I'd like you to look back at this. When in your background did you come to that conclusion that if you're going to be a wide receiver and you're going to play for me, what was it that spurred that kind of thinking?
I think Ohio roots. I think the toughness, the part that it's never going to change whether you run a screen. Terry McLaurin blocked 3 people on that screen.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, on the last touchdown, he blocked 3 people. And KJ did a really good job. He ran with the ball and kind of high-stepped it in the end zone, which is, all due respect to KJ, that's fine, but his soulmate, and he recognized that. So that's just been part of the DNA.
When you look at Indiana, what just jumps out at you from a defensive standpoint? They played pretty well. I mean,
they played very well.
Yeah.
They've got a bunch of new starters. Their scheme is outstanding. I think it's very well coached, and they got answers for everything. That's what we're just knee deep in it now, but that's my initial reaction. And obviously, very good player.
And then, do you expect teams to attack your defense on the edges? They came out last year. We're dropping dimes on those fade routes and stuff. Do you expect that to continue
I don't think Penn State, that was.
No, they did, but I'm talking about.
It depends on, this quarterback they have, and I've not studied him yet, that's usually on Wednesday. But they have a guy that's a dual, Cincinnati, Ramsey is a gutsy player, man. And he's one of those guys that creates something out of nothing. So it depends on what you're facing. Last year's quarterback that they started was more of a drop back, and he was, like you said, dropping seeds on people. This is, this guy's a very good thrower, but he's also got the other element.
And final question, Ari?
I've got two quick separate ones. Did you review the targeting calls on Isaiah, and what is your takeaway?
I just read it before I walked in. We turned it in, and it came back that they, first of all, you can't appeal it. I didn't know that. You can't appeal it. I watched someone show me on the phone, and I'm all into the safety of this game. So I get it, I understand it. To say I agree with it, I don't have time to argue with it and all that. The call was made, and once again, you start talking about safety of players, we're all in here. And, there's no intent, there's no crown, there is no targeting. And, we've had a couple of those around here where, the guy's going to try to wipe him out, but he's going for the ball. If you watch him, he's going for the ball, and contact was made. So, once again, we don't have time to argue, it's done, and we're moving forward.
And one other thing. As a coach, in a moment when you guys take a go-ahead touchdown the way you did there, how hard is it to get a two-point conversion in general in college football? And it just seems like that play is kind of tough. And do you guys ever discuss having a specific play that you have?
Sure. Practice it every week. You usually have 2 or 3 in your pocket. That we got moved back on the delay of game, which was, that's another issue that, in that chaos, what's going on during the course of the game, and they just roll it. We got to practice that. And obviously, that was a momentum. That was a game-winning touchdown. We have to get that organized, get them on the field and go. But it's, nowadays 3 yards is tough. I don't know the percentage. It used to be under 50%, but you're going to make a 2-point play. But we have to, obviously it didn't work, so we have to execute better.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.